And we are back. Thanks for everyone listening to Around the ATL on SportsVisions 92.1. That was a great interview with Miss Leah Edmond from the Atlanta Vibe. Can't wait to meet her in person one of these days. So, Jordan, let's talk some Braves baseball, man. What's going on for the Braves lately?
Well, unfortunately, Chris, the Braves have been continuing to struggle. They are currently 7 games under 500 and have only won one series this year, oddly enough, against the Philadelphia Phillies. But I do got to give a quick shout out to Sean Murphy, who has 4 home runs in 6 games, which is tied for the team lead, and 8 RBI, which is third on the team. He's been one of the few bright spots with the team so far, Chris.
Definitely needed the output from him. How about Atlanta United? Where are they up to lately?
Well, more bad news, Chris. Atlanta United fell this past Saturday, losing 1-0 to the New England Revolution. The controversial thing about that game was Miguel Almiron had a first half goal disallowed on a penalty, and Atlanta never scored from there. Only 4 shots on goal to New England 7, and that loss dropped the five stripes to just 2 wins, 3 ties, and 3 losses on the season so far.
That's a struggle right there. Hopefully they can bounce back. The Masters. I try to do my CBS voice, Jordan. I can't do it right now. Who won the green jacket, man?
A tradition unlike any other. Yes, Rory McIlroy won the Masters. He defeated Justin Rose in a playoff to bring home the title. That completed the career Grand Slam for him. So congratulations to him on that. And his final total was minus 11. I was actually in Augusta this weekend, and it's quite incredible the way the Masters just transforms that place. All the restaurants are full. The shops are busy with people. I saw more private jets at the airport than I've ever seen in my entire life. So shout out to Augusta for putting on a great tournament once again. It is absolutely the greatest golf tournament in this entire world, Chris.
And I got to watch that last round. It was pretty exciting, I will have to admit. Last but not least, let's talk about the Atlanta Hawks. The play-in tournament is on. Unfortunately, the Atlanta Hawks fall to the Orlando Magic 120-95. And already somehow Trae Young is being blamed when Zach scored 7, Dyson had 7, Okongwu 11, Moji had 12, and the Yang had 15 off the bench. And that was pretty much it off the bench because Levert and Mann didn't help at all. So, Jordan, where do we stand now? What happens next in this play-in tournament?
Well, what happens next, Chris, is we watch the Bulls versus the Heat and to see who emerges as our opponent next. That game will be in Atlanta. And despite the disappointment of the game against Orlando, I do expect the Hawks to win that ball game in Atlanta and advance to the playoffs to be the 8th seed and take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's just unfortunate, though, that we were able to come back from down 22 against Orlando and cut the lead all the way down to 3, but we just could not get over the hump, sir.
And this was on the road as well, so you always have that advent. So let me ask you this: between Miami and the Heat, do you have a preference on who to play in this last play-in game?
I really don't have a preference, Chris. I feel like we match up well against either team. I feel like Dyson Daniels will not let Kobe White go for 42 points if we play them like DeJounte did. I also feel like he can slow down Tyler Hero as well. I think both teams are a much better matchup for the Hawks than the Orlando Magic, who are just longer, taller, able to beat us on the boards, and they don't really have a place to kind of high Trey. They have guards that can attack Trey. So I feel like Miami nor Chicago has the overall elements that Orlando has, sir.
Well, let me just point this out. The Orlando Magic bench is what beat the Atlanta Hawks. Anthony Black had 16 and Cole Anthony had 26. Cole Anthony averages like 8 points a game for the season. He had 26 tonight in 20 minutes off the bench. So who was guarding him and who was guarding Anthony Black? Because the rest of the lineup, Wendell Carter had 19, Franz Wagner had 13 and 13, and Brincaro had an ugly 17. Caldwell Pope had 5, and Corey Joseph had 9. So again, how is all this Trae Young's fault when he's not guarding all 5 players plus the 2 people off the bench? I don't understand it. It's silly to me, but people can have that if they want to. Now, since we believe that the Hawks will win their play-in game against either the Heat or Chicago, that goes into Cleveland. So, what are your thoughts in regards to possibly meeting Cleveland in the playoff series, Jordan?
I like the matchup against Cleveland better than I like the potential matchup against the Celtics. The Celtics have Drew Holiday and Derek White, two excellent defensive players that they can throw at Trey. Cleveland does not really have a real Trey defender. Now, Cleveland does have better rim protection with Evan Mobley and with Jared Allen, but Boston also has Porzingis who can protect the rim, and a veteran in Al Horford is not a rim protector, but just knows how to play the game. And the one thing is, Cleveland just does not have a track record of playoff success like the defending champion Boston Celtics do. But the key is we're going to have to shoot the basketball better than we shot the ball against Orlando. Only shooting 19% from three-point range is not going to cut it. Only 38% from the field is not going to cut it. And we just can't afford to have five guys not shoot the ball well like what happened against Orlando.
And that is really what I'm looking at is the inconsistencies because, again, all season we've had some great games, and then you have games like this. And, again, it's a matter of the support part of it. If you can't hit shots, it's going to be hard to win. That's basketball, right? But again, it's a matter of when someone passes you the ball, you're not hitting your shot. Where do you, again, to continue to align that fault at a certain point when you're looking up and down the lineup and nobody is scoring the ball? So, yeah, against Cleveland especially, we can't have a game where we're basically zeroing out. And I will mention this, and I mentioned this before the show started, that I was encouraged for at a certain point in time, we weren't chucking up threes just for the sake of chucking up threes. We didn't have 50 attempts out there tonight. And that was one of the reasons we were able to come back in the game because, again, you don't know what the other team's going to do. Are they going to keep hitting shots too? Maybe not, especially if you actually play some defense, right? So I think the Hawks definitely have a better chance against Cleveland, probably again, rather than the Boston Celtics, the defending world champions. I'm hoping for the best because we really need to have a showing. We really need to be in the playoffs this year. We really do. Jordan, any other final thoughts on any of our sports for tonight?
Last point, I think being able to be competitive on the boards is going to be crucial in the next playing game as well as going on into the playoffs if our prediction comes true. We got crushed on the boards by Orlando by 12. Even if we don't win the rebounding battle, we cannot get beat by double digits on the boards, Chris.
Exactly. Well, I hope everyone appreciated our 13th episode of Around the ATL here on SportsVisions 92.1 FM. And again, shout out to Miss Leah Edmond, the most valuable player of the Professional Volleyball Federation and of the Atlanta Vibe for joining us earlier. It was a great interview and hope to, again, look forward to seeing her in the playoffs this year. Please tell others about Around the ATL, whether or not you're in Atlanta, Columbus, Texas, Australia, London, wherever you might be listening from. Especially London. We have some London listeners out there now. Of course, make sure you go and visit our sponsors, Southern Classic Transportation. Make sure you call Dennis at 404-291-0150, the best limo service in Atlanta. And also IMTN Worldwide Images. Make sure you give them a call, 706-393-8426. Jordan, any final words, sir?
Yes, a quick shout out to my mom who's been going through cancer treatments. I want to say RIP to a friend of mine, Hiram Dunaway, who passed away. And a quick PSA, men out there, he passed away due to complication from hypertension, which led to kidney failure. Fellas, go get checked. A lot of times we have aches and pains and things, and we avoid going to see a doctor. But ignoring a potential problem is not going to make it go away. Yet actually addressing a potential problem early could very well save your life. So please, fellas, go get checked out. Last but not least, I want to thank God for giving me this breath that I breathe to talk about these Atlanta, these Georgia sports that I love. Peace up, A-Town down.
Don't forget to listen every Thursday night after 10 o'clock following the Clingstones baseball game on SportsVisions 92.1 FM. Until next time, always be listening, always be watching Around the ATL. Peace.
Dribble, pass, throw, catch, hit, slide, grab, respect, around the ATL. Dribble, pass, throw, catch, hit.